Well, good evening, Stevie Lee. It's been a while, man. Episode 348, man. This is just a reminder to our viewers and listeners, non-football season. Stevie and I go to every other Sunday because we're with you, the fans. Football season is a grind. We got to stay on top of things. We got to keep you entertained, and Stevie needs a vacation every other Sunday.
Every other, and it works out because volleyball season, the club volleyball season ramps
Right.
up this time of the year. So I was in the gym yesterday all evening and today all morning. So trying to relax a little bit right now.
You deserve it, man. You and Summer are two of the best parents, volleyball parents that the three-county area has ever experienced.
I hope so, man. I hope.
Hey, this would not be possible without Mary in the bottom right, who is employed by Hargrove Roofing. She's a part of the Hargrove family, so to speak, and unofficially, we are too. I got adopted through the roots placed by Stevie Lee in Shreveport, Louisiana. Hargrove Roofing, they've expanded deeply into Texas, and they have established a firm position here in the Austin, Texas area. And, there's only one way to endorse those guys, and Stevie Lee does it best.
How to endorse them? You go Hargrove Roofing. Know who's on your roof.
100%. Shoot, we know them. That's why we recommend them to our friends and family. They do a great job. Great job.
Good people over there.
Amazing. Salt of the earth, the Hargroves, and Coach Ab at the home base in Austin off of Ashdale. Just to warn you, be prepared for a good conversation when you talk to Coach, because he'll
Absolutely.
Well, Stevie, if you weren't really sure what this week is, I think this ought to do it right here if you're not too sure.
The only time I've seen Coach Reed kind of a little bit more excited is after winning the Super Bowl. Other than that, it's like the same exact person, but that's what you need. You need your leader to be calm, win, loss, no matter what it is, the same person, come to work every single day and put that work in.
So there is Pat Mahomes, class act. I think this third time in 5 seasons, the Kansas City Chiefs, the modern-day dynasty, they're back in the Super Bowl, Stevie Lee, and unfortunately, his dad made the headlines today. I saw in East Texas, I want to say arrested on DWI charges, I think for a third time. I don't know the whole story. I was like, all right, why did that have to be published?
Yeah. Oh, I didn't hear that, man. Yeah, that sucks.
I hate that for him and the family. Just get some help and work through it.
That's an unwanted distraction during one of the most important weeks of his life,
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this matchup, your guy, Kyle Shanahan, you played with him at Texas. Receiver, the Coach Shanahan's son. Now, Junior is doing a great thing. He is one of the best coaches, great offensive minds. He has put San Francisco back on the forefront as they were when the Cowboys were elite and winning a lot. San Francisco has not won a Super Bowl since the mid-90s, but at least they've been to one or two. What's your thought on this game when you really break it down and look at it?
Man, I love what Shanahan is doing with the 49ers. McCaffrey is running like hell out there. Purdy is doing well out there. And I like their defense. But, man, that duo with Patrick and Kelce, that's once in a well, I don't want to say once in a generational, but, you hardly get a quarterback and tight end duo like they are playing, and he's only a tight end because he lined up as tight end. He's more of a receiver, man.
It reminds me of Aikman and Novacek.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And so it's hard to go against those guys, but I do have San Francisco. San Francisco was my childhood team that I
Really?
always followed with Joe Montana, Jerry Rice, and those guys. So I don't know. I'm gonna go back to my childhood, a little nostalgia, and go for my guy Shanahan, my old teammate, and the San Francisco 49ers, man. I think they'll
I've
pull
got
it.
to ask you this. What was Shano like? Did you kind of see this, not because of who his dad is, but did you see this? Because he's a brilliant guy, obviously.
No, and so I get this question a lot, actually, when they find out that Shanahan and I played together. Shanahan, he transferred from Duke.
Uh-huh.
Back in the day where if you transferred, you had to sit out and no one transferred, right? And he was really, really good friends with Chris Sims, right? And I think that's one of the reasons why he transferred from Duke to come here to Texas and to be with Chris Sims, and they were real tight, and he was real tight with a couple other guys on the team, and they're still tight today. I don't think that Shanahan thought that he was going to be a football player after college.
Yeah.
I don't think that Shanahan thought that he was a football player when he was a football player at the University of Texas. No, real talk. Real talk.
Wow.
And you knew who his dad was. Well, for me, I knew who his dad was, but Shanahan was his own person. Smart, football guy, X's and O's. I don't think I ever seen him, because he played receiver here. I don't think I ever seen him catch a pass in practice, but he was always around, had notes or something in his hand. He was always there. You know what I mean? I think that he had a bigger calling, not just us as football players. I didn't think that, how do I put this? While I was in college, I wasn't like, yeah, he's going to be a head coach somewhere or he's going to be a coach somewhere. But for me, when he got out of college and he was coaching with his dad and coaching in the NFL, there was like, oh, yeah, that's right. He was supposed to do that. But when he was in college, he was just an X's and O's guys with us. He wasn't above us. He wasn't bigger than us, but he was a part of us. But when you think of when he goes on to coach in the NFL, you're like, oh, that is the natural progression where he was going,
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I guess I don't know how to put that, but he was one of us. I never thought that he was on this pedestal,
No, that's a good teammate player perspective. It's always those great stories that a lot of people don't know because they didn't play and they were not around you guys on the field in the meeting rooms 24/7, or it is a 24/7 type deal, except when you sleep. But this game, I mean, if KC wins, it'll be the first back-to-back Super Bowl champion in, was it 15 or 19 years?
Oh wow,
19 years.
And who was that?
I'm trying to think back of who that was. That's okay. The one thing that I'm trying to remember. But I think we can all agree, Brock Purdy, we saw him a lot, fall in the Big 12. He's not Mr. Irrelevant anymore. I'm so tired of that, just because he was picked last in the draft. That's overplayed. He's not irrelevant. He's definitely relevant. He's a great –
right.
I think he runs Shano's offense the way it's supposed to. But I think my player, if you were to pick a player who is – because there's usually one player, offense or defense, which is, I'm not saying who isn't a star already, but usually the Super Bowl or those NFC, AFC championship games, one player rises to the top to be not just the MVP, but is key. And I'm going to say it's going to be George Kittle for the 49ers. He's been kind of quiet here for the past few weeks.
Okay.
A month or so.
Okay. Yeah. Hey man, I'm with you. You know, somebody's gonna have to step up because I'm picking them to win.
Yeah.
So somebody's gonna have to step up and be, you know, phenomenal for them. So more power to them.
Yeah. Well, you and I had fun with this last year. The novelty prop bets. And you knew Taylor Swift was going to be on part of the wagers, if you will. So Usher's performing at halftime.
Yep.
What's the they're giving it a plus 550. That's if I think you win for every $100. Someone correct me if I'm wrong. If you on the money line, I think it's for every $100 you win $55. So plus it that Taylor Swift will appear with Usher at halftime. I'm going to say I'm not going to take that bet because I think she stays up there in the box.
Yeah, and apparently she has a show the night before.
I think, yeah,
across the world. Is it Singapore or in China?
You've done your homework. Stevie's been studying.
Yeah, they've been talking about this 13-hour flight for her to just make kickoff to get back from her show that she has.
Well, I think it'd be cool to see her perform with Usher. I mean,
yeah,
hey, if Usher sings "OMG," oh my God, I'm set. Oh my God!
Is that Usher's song?
Yeah,
or is it? Did he do that with Will I Am or the Black Eyed Peas? Did he? I don't know. I don't know.
You got boobies like wow.
Yeah, I don't know who he did that with, but yeah, but he didn't have a song with Taylor Swift, right?
No, but I don't know if they could put something together that quick.
Yeah, no, they can't.
Maybe they're doing it now through Zoom.
Nah, not at all.
And
what's the other one? Reba McEntire.
So she's doing the national anthem this year. Chris Stapleton did it last year.
Right.
Over under 86 seconds to sing the national anthem.
I got her over.
Really?
I got her over. Yeah, she's gonna want to put some sauce on it.
Shoot, I got you.
That country, soulful country voice, that Nashville type voice. She's gonna want to put some sauce on it. It's gonna go over 86 seconds.
Stapleton was 2 minutes 5 seconds, so that's 85.
Now, Reba McEntire she's deserved more than 86 seconds to sing that song.
Oh,
she's earned that.
Well, give that woman some space to do whatever she wants. She's a legend.
I'll take it over.
Isn't she from Oklahoma? No, she's not from Oklahoma. That's Vince Gill.
Actually, I think she is.
Yeah, I think you're right.
She is.
She's an Okie.
Yep.
That's right. In her song, she says, "I'm from the right side of Red River." To them, that's the right side.
Exactly.
Got the referee, first team to call a timeout.
Ooh, first team to call a timeout. I always see timeouts being called by the offense. So who's the better team? Who's the better coached team on offense?
KC.
Ooh.
I bet you San Fran is the first to call timeout.
Okay. All right.
Let's see.
These are good bets, man. This is good. That's fun.
It's I think.
Are you writing this down so we can talk about this?
I need to write it down. So let me get here. So Stevie, Flinch.
I got Reba McEntire over. I'm writing it down too, man, because you can't trust your buddies sometimes.
Oh. And you're gonna say, and I'll take Reba under, and I'm not going with Swifty making an appearance.
Yeah, that's a sucker's bet.
No, and then first timeout, I'll say San Fran.
All right. Well, I got Kansas City.
Okay.
Because they had some alignment issues lately.
Well, they've struggled on offense a little bit.
Yeah. All right, I got KC.
Shockingly. Super Bowl LVIII 58, baby.
Oh,
Las
and you
Vegas.
showed that picture of the stadium, man. That Las Vegas, that Allegiant Air Stadium.
Yeah.
It is very, very nice. I've driven by it a couple times when I go to Vegas, and I really want to go inside of it. But Vegas is not the town of $8 steak buffets
Not anymore.
No, not anymore, man. Look, I within my real estate group, it's a bunch of high end agents and high end type of people in that group, and they're all over the country. So we had someone say that a travel agent had a client that had to back out of going to the Super Bowl. So that travel agent was trying to sell the tickets that person had. This person had tickets about, I think it's under 20 rows up. So lower bowl of the stadium.
Oh my God.
50-yard line. Do you want to guess what the sticker price is for these tickets? Do you want to?
You talking about the secondary market price? The
secondary
value?
market price.
10,000 each.
No, you can't even go to the stadium for $10,000. These two tickets this person had was $36,000 a piece. $36,255 a piece.
I'm out. I'm out.
I am out as well. Did you see the story with McCaffrey's mom couldn't get it, and her family couldn't get a suite because the suite was going for $2.5 million?
That's ridiculous.
It's ridiculous. Las Vegas has gotten out of control. But I still love going.
You can still get a little bit downtown.
Yeah. And it's like, the sports and entertainment industry is jacking these prices up on people, but they're getting it though, And then I saw another story of the end zone seats. It looks like a bar seat, like if you're in a bar and you have booths. It's the booth seats in the end zone. Those are going for a couple $100,000 over there, man, just to watch the game, ground level, man. So
dude, that's unreal.
It's Las Vegas, man. Everything is crazy in Las Vegas.
It's become what we hoped it would not have become.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, and real estate's picked up there too. So that,
Yes. Yes.
They're going to have the teams away from town.
Yeah.
Stay probably some resort. I saw where their two teams are staying. I couldn't remember what they're called, but I think they're both resorts.
Yeah.
Get them away from the casinos
Sure.
because they'll be there. They're arriving, I think, tonight.
Today. It was today. Yeah. Yeah, I believe I saw it today. They're arriving. So
I still remember the last Super Bowl that I covered was the one in Arlington. And I drove down from Oklahoma City. There were three of us that went, and I chose, all right, I want to follow the Steelers. So the Steelers hotel was in, what's that town? Oh, it's that little community. It's kind of like a small domain by Irving. There's a makeshift lake right there. It's right by Irving. Anyway, it's near where Valley Ranch, where the Cowboys used to be, their headquarters. So the Steelers, a beautiful Sunday afternoon, and got the Steelers. And then I was putting together my story. We go to sleep. Next morning, nothing but snow and ice on the ground for a week. That was not fun. Not fun at all. Oh, my God.
You got Big Sweat here.
Andre Sweat.
See how Sweat, that's one of the ones that he's won, and look where his hands are. When you see that again, his hands are inside, and with his mass, his size, he gets his hands inside. You're not going to be able to do anything about it.
T. Sweat and Christian Jones were at the Senior Bowl, and from all indications from that rep at practice, I'm pretty sure, I'm not going to guarantee anything, but T. Sweat's going to be selected pretty high in the draft and do really well.
He should be. Now, I'm sorry to cut you off, man, but that was an impressive rep that he had. Very impressive. But at 365 pounds, I expect that.
Yeah,
the other rep that they showed after that rep was him doing a swim move at 365 pounds
Athletic.
and getting to the quarterback. Very, very athletic. That was my most impressive clip, was when he made a move at the line of scrimmage and just got to the running or to the quarterback in less than 2 seconds. That's the most impressive. And at 365 pounds, that was the most impressive part of it. He can do both. He can bull rush you.
Yes.
And he can finesse you and get around you to get to the quarterback. The kid's phenomenal. I think whomever get him will they should drop a bag in his lap and ask him what do you want me to put in that bag?
Yeah. Mama Sweat in Huntsville is going to have a nice little establishment.
No question.
On real estate in Huntsville, Texas.
Yeah.
I had talking to somebody and I saw it was a friend of mine who used to be a scout in the NFL, and I just asked, and they said, the thing about him is he makes big guys in the NFL look small.
Yeah.
And when he's next to, but what is his flexibility of his hips and his mobility?
Mm-hmm.
And we saw it, and it's I think he was one of the guys who signed with Tom Herman, but he was developed very well. And I think Christian Jones, being a 6-year guy on the other side of the ball, I think he helped his cause. Because that's a guy, it's hard not to like him. Maybe we try to get both of them on here on the Man Cave soon.
That'd be fun.
That would be a lot of fun. Talking about a big guy that we both know, his daddy, Jacob Henry. Started out at Lake Travis, pretty good football player, dominant. And he's also a wrestler. He transferred to Vandergrift. He, Mark Henry, strongest man in the world, part of the WWE, one of the finest humans from the Golden Triangle of Texas. Proud of Southeast Texas, but he's also proud of the Longhorn through and through. You're friends with him. Jacob, and it threw me off. I know he's a good wrestler, but I didn't know he was elite, but committed to OU. So there's going to be some boomers sooner in the Henry family. OU has a good wrestling program.
I cannot believe when I saw it, I didn't believe it. I still haven't texted Mark Henry yet. I really want to text him and like, man, what happened? What's going on in the household? I met Mark Henry when I was playing football. He was in the weight room working out. And he was, I guess he had come out to practice, and he just started talking to me and wanted to give me some pointers on pass rushing. And I was acting as the offensive lineman, and he was like, you need to do this. And he was demonstrating to me, and he hit me in my hip. He just punched me in my hip just one time. He's like, just try this, and I was like, golly, that hurt, No, man, he was heavy-handed, very, very strong man, and he would go to the rack, put all the weight on the rack, go to another rack, and get that rack and put more weight on the bar. And I was like, man, this guy's gonna break the bar in here. It was fun watching Mark Henry work out at the University of Texas. But then now his son is going to the other side of the river, man. And that's mind-boggling to me. But I'm happy for the kid. I've known the kid for a long time. So I'm so happy for any kid that gets to go and do what they love to do at any level, the next level up. I'm so happy for him. If it's at OU, it's at OU, but I'm still happy for him.
Yeah, I'm happy for him. It's OU, some will say they're the second best wrestling program in the state of Oklahoma. OSU is a tradition rich.
Yeah.
National championships galore. But OU, when I was there, they were improving. They're good. It's good. That's a good wrestling program. UIL realignment is biennial every 2 years, and it affects every high school. There's about 1,400 high schools in the state of Texas. Class 1A now is 6-man football, but there's the big disparity, Stevie, 6A is one, but they divide it into two divisions in the playoffs. But you go 5A all the way down to 1A. It's two divisions throughout the season. Okay.
Mhm.
But the disparity is, so the low end of 5A is enrollment 1,315 students, and the high end's 2,274. But now you've got 6A. The basement is 2,275, but you got four high schools. I'm just like Allen, 6,900 students. The Plano schools, East and West, both have over 5,300, and then Conroe, almost 5,300. So my point being is 5A and below, it's really hard geographically. Everybody's mad at the UIL, and I get it.
Mhm.
But Lufkin, Texas, they're in 5A Division I, and used to be they had great, just really, really good East Texas district out there when they were all 5A back in the day. They're put in District 7 5A Division I in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. 3+ hour bus ride, Highland Park, State Power, Burleson, just south of Fort Worth. I'm just naming a few. So Lufkin on an island out there. I mean, what do you think? I mean, you feel for them, but I'm not saying that there was politics involved. But what's your thought on this? Because Lufkin is very much like Shreveport, because the East Texas and the Northwest Louisiana area.
Yeah.
When you see that, because when you think of Lufkin, you think of John Tyler, the old Tyler Lee, Longview, Marshall, Nacogdoches, Lufkin.
Yeah.
No more, no mas. They got to put them in there somewhere. I thought maybe put them in there with Beaumont or North Houston, but not the case.
Yeah, no, that's a trick to get all the way up to the Dallas area just to play these schools. I don't know how, we're talking about football, but we got all the other sports as well.
Well, I'm glad you said that. So this is football only.
Oh, this is football only.
So yeah,
really
weird, isn't it?
When did they start doing that?
Well, they've done that for a while, and it was usually just for the lower classifications. But I want to make sure, just because I want to make sure I'm telling you the right thing, because I'm almost positive this is the case.
Okay.
So we're going to go to 6 man. Yeah. So it's football and basketball, it looks like. Let me see. So 7. Six A. Obviously, there's an edit here. I can't even find. Oh, why I'm in 6A? Why did I do that? So yeah, it's football only. So it's Burleson, Centennial, Cleburne, Highland Park, Joshua, Lufkin, Midlothian, Red Oak, and Tyler.
Huh.
So it's football.
Yeah, that's a long ways to drive for some football games, man. And you got to remember those guys got to come down to Lufkin, and Lufkin got to go all the way up there. So
yeah,
I don't know, man. I would love to see how that work out. And then you also talked about College Station.
Yep.
Yeah,
it's 2 College Station schools, College Station High, and then A&M Consolidated are sent to Austin, essentially.
Yeah.
Austin Anderson, Bastrop, Cedar Creek, Lehman, which is in Kyle, and then you got Pflugerville. You got 2 Hendrickson and Pflugerville Weiss, and I think I've left off a couple. But again, Lufkin and the College Station schools, they're on islands.
Yeah,
and it's hard, and you think, well, put them in there with Waco, but we're at a point where the state is growing quickly. These suburbs are, okay? And there's more high schools, but when you divide classifications into 2 divisions, well, you're shrinking the opportunity. You're going to spread out more.
Yeah,
That's the way
absolutely.
I look at it.
Yeah.
Also high school related. He's a member of the Stories Inside the Man Cave family. He's of Texas high school football coaching royalty. The Todd Dodge, unretired, and lasted 2 years. Has his own series, just like you do. But he's won so many football games and 7 state championships at Westlake and South Lake Carroll. He's going up to Dallas-Fort Worth again for Lucas Lovejoy. Great job. And he'll succeed Chris Ross, who left there to become the OC at Stephen F. Austin.
That's awesome. Yeah, man, good for him. Like I said, anybody that wants to go to the next level or come out of retirement, if there's something what he wanted to do and he found a place, hearing that he wanted to be closer to family, is that correct?
So, Riley's the head coach at South Lake Carroll, like Dad was. Riley's doing a great job. He wanted to be, I know Todd had mentioned to me quite a few times, and he and his wife wanted to eventually get close to family because of the grandchildren. And then their daughter now has a son. And, I would assume that all of them are going to be in Dallas-Fort Worth.
Yep. So that's awesome for him to go and finding it, coming out of retirement, finding a gig up there, and good luck to him. What classification is this school in?
I'm pretty sure that's a great question. Great question.
Man. I'll look it up later. Don't worry.
Yeah, it's I want to say they're 5A, but I've been known to be wrong. Lucas Lovejoy.
Not often, though. Not often. You usually spot on, man.
Man, I appreciate that. I got pressure to be good around you. Be great. And that's just how it is. It's just but I will say this: speaking of retirement, when your retirement being a educator, him adding more years, his retirement, he'll be golden.
Yeah,
he will.
That's awesome.
That is awesome. We're excited for him. Hey, the big time game here in Austin, Texas, and in front of a big time crowd. And I'm really happy for this team, for these ladies. And we'll talk about that after we pay homage to our folks at Hargrove Roofing, where Stevie is the VIP in this ad.
Here at Hargrove Roofing, we try to think outside the box to kind of get the creative juices flowing. So I brought in my friend Stevie Lee, former defensive tackle for the Texas Longhorns. He's going to help the team strategize, really motivate them, light a fire.
This guy's going to block down. This guy's going to block down. You put your butt into the guard, and that way my Mike linebacker gets free to do what?
Not only are they going to learn a thing or two, but they're going to also leave with a great attitude and a bunch of smiles on their faces.
I'm sorry, what does this have to do with roofing exactly?
Get out.
Right now.
I said get out.
For me, that's what it's all about. It's just having fun, making our employees have a great time. Hargrove Roofing. Know who's on your roof.
If we're gonna jump back in the race, Sunday's important. And so, is it the end all? I don't think so. But just the fact that it's number 2 in the country coming to the Moody.
How about that? Vic Schaefer and the Texas Longhorn women. Not only did they host the number 2 ranked team in the country and obviously the leaders of the Big 12, Kansas State, but handed K-State their second straight loss. I'll say this, and this is to me, UT women have had some unfortunate injuries here the last 2 years. To tell you, so they won their 21st, they're 21-3 right now. Okay. And they're back in the race in the Big 12, but the big picture is what you do in the tournament. Over 8,000 fans showed up at the Mood to see this upset, if you want to call it that. That defense locked down, and they are fun to watch, this Texas women's basketball program. I think, I'm not going to predict anything, but this is looking more like what a Vic Schaefer coach team is. athletes suffocate you defensively, get after your ass, and they play hard. And it's just they say
I watched them
K-State
play the other day. I feel like they're playing inspired basketball, playing for their injured players.
I think you're right.
For teammates. I think it feels very inspired basketball, and it's great, man. Knocking off number 2 is awesome.
That is freaking awesome, man. And it's that's a big win. And so, if you look at the metrics, Texas is pretty overall with their schedule strength and everything. They're about 4 or 5 in the country. So they're if they win out, Stevie, there's a potential number 1 seed.
Yeah.
And maybe they could probably afford to drop 1, maybe 2, but I'm really not sure. But they're going to have probably a 2 seed. But
at least a 2 seed, yeah.
On the other side of the coin, this horns down thing is working in the UT men's basketball favors. They had over 500 horns down shirts, as you see on the write-up at Fort Worth yesterday. And TCU, really good ball club. Really good. Texas, gritty, dug down. So you and I, we talked about this. They had 6 games coming up. They've gone through 5 of the 6 games of back-to-back ranked teams. All right. They're 3-2 in 5 of those 6 games so far.
Yeah. And U of H, they almost knocked U of H off. They had to go to overtime with that one. I don't know when these schools are going to realize and understand when you do print up T-shirts to disrespect Texas, it's going to hurt. I remember when I was playing, 20 years ago.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember, but Rice, we had to go to Houston to play Rice at Reliant Stadium. And Rice printed up T-shirts that said, Tuck Texas.
Wow.
Tuck Texas.
Of all teams, Rice should not have.
Tuck Texas. And we were on the bus. And we saw these, they were in their blue with burnt orange letters on them. And we looked around, looked at each other like, really? They got these shirts on? Like, the fan base got these shirts on? And in the pregame speech, Coach Brown brought it up. And it fired us up, man. Fired us up. I don't know how much fired up we needed to be against Rice. They weren't very good at the time. But we were fired up, man. We wanted to rip their heads off, man. And we actually went out there and
dominated.
And dominated the game because those shirts motivated us. And I don't understand why these schools don't realize, printing stuff up just to be mad at us and, hating us more than you love yourself. It just gives us fuel.
It's
so
yeah.
So I'm happy that they went in there, got the W. Now they can go and use those T-shirts as dust cloths.
Exactly. I want to check something right now because after that, when you think so, net rankings is the metric that men's basketball NCAA uses and today's the 3rd. Okay.
The 4th.
4th. Okay. So I'm trying to look here. Texas, if this is the accurate one, they're up to 32nd in the net. They'll probably go up to 28, but it doesn't matter right now. It all means so. Essentially, what that does, it helps the NCAA seed team. So I'm not too concerned about it. I think they're going to be just fine, but they're reflecting their coach, fiery, and getting after people. We've all thought it, and I saved this for you, and I ran it in an episode last week. So my alma mater, Stephen F. Austin, head coach, men's basketball. They're a really good team, but I don't get it. You talk about injuries. They've got, I want to say 3 starters out. They keep fighting these games in the Western Athletic Conference, and the 2 previous games, there were calls not made at the end, which could have easily swung into SFA's favor to win. They were that close.
Mhm.
I'm not one to ever blame officiating because you should make plays earlier in the game. But if you're going to call certain things a foul early in the game, you should do it throughout. This is
Keep it
about over a
consistent.
minute long. This is Keller going off on the officiating last week. I'm looking forward to your reaction to this.
You know, I'm really disappointed that we have 6 guys in the last 2 games that are afraid to call their freaking whistle when it's been a foul for the whole game. And when I got, 14 kids in there bawling their eyes out, and we got, 3,000 people in here that are disappointed, and 100,000 alumni that care so much about Stephen F. Austin. And we got 3 guys who swallow their whistle 2 games in a row. 6 guys swallow their whistle. It's been a foul all game long, and they decide they're not going to call it. And I know our head of officials says if a foul at 19:58 in the first half, it's a foul with 3 seconds left in the game. And you can't tell me that's not been a foul the last two plays. And I'll probably get reprimanded or whatever from our league, but it's a foul. And if they get away with it, why can't I get away with telling the truth here? If they can walk off the floor with no reprimand, why can't I? It's not right. And it's not right. I don't think it's right. And I'm sick of it. 2 games in a row. It's not fair. It can cost us a league championship. Determines our people's mental health. We worry about mental health. Hey, these adults, they don't care about our kids' mental health, or they call a foul because they call the game right. Mental health. Hey, check my mental health after these guys just laugh at each other after they don't call a foul. Determines a win or a loss.
He's not wrong.
Oh. It started like this, and then it just escalated. Hey, man, I get it, man. Sports is like that, but we also talk about in pivotal moments of the game, referees swallowing their whistles. But if it's a blatant foul, you do need to call it. And, I didn't see the actual fouls and what the parts that he's talking about, but he has a point, though, because there has been a culture of the last few seconds of the game, you let them play. But if it's a blatant foul, you got to call it, You got to call it.
I agree.
Yeah.
But I'm glad somebody finally did it.
Yeah, he said it. We'll see how much money they take from him,
I haven't heard a thing. And it's wow. But I'm proud of Coach Keller. I mean, seasons like this, you worry about contending, you worry about job security, you worry about recruiting. It's all those things that are factors in this. All of it. Every factor. It's all those elements. Stevie Lee. That's some great music. You're a man.
Yeah, bringing it back, man.
Huh?
Bringing it back. Pro tips
Bringing it
Stevie
back,
Lee,
man.
right?
That beat. We need to hear more of that.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
You and your lovely wife, Summer, you are 2 people about the town. You and I both love the food scene, but any pro tip that maybe you could give the lovely man cavers when in Austin, or if they're in Austin or in the Austin area, place to go for a good night or good dinner?
My pro tip this week is, spring is around the corner. The weather is getting a little bit warmer. People are starting to be out and sunny. I think it's good barbecue weather, man. I really do. So I love to go down to Black's on Barton Springs. I love to go to La Barbecue on the east side. And just try some new barbecue in Austin, man. There's some new places that's up. There's some old staples that are there. Just go out there and be a part of the city, walking around and trying some new things, new barbecue places around town. And then you can always get down to Lockhart, man. Lockhart is like the barbecue capital of Texas, man. No, you have Crites down there, you have Smitty's, you have Black's. You have Chisholm Trail, all those places down there. That's my pro tip, actually, right there. I'm going to pivot a little bit, is taking a tour of Lockhart, the Lockhart barbecue tour. I've done it before just with some friends. We just jumped in a car. We had the ribs at Kreitz. We had the beef rib over at Black's. You go to Chisholm Trail and get their fried bologna. Like it's all they all have these specialties, but it's all good. Anything on their menu is good, man. So,
it's so
go
good.
do my pro tip is go do a barbecue tour in Lockhart, Texas during a weekday.
Just a half hour away.
Yeah, just a half hour away. And on our Highway 130, you can go 85, 95 miles an hour. So you're out there.
Like the German Autobahn. You get there in a heartbeat.
Yeah, man. Yeah, and I've seen some really nice cars running out there, man. We have posted people that are not in Texas on Interstate 130. It's a tollway. It's posted 85 miles an hour. The posted speed limit is 85 miles an hour, and we don't do speed limits here. We're at least 10 to 20 miles over the speed limit whenever it's a clear road. So that's the closest thing in America you're going to get to the Autobahn. So, and I've seen some really nice cars flying out there too, man.
Well, I'll add to your Lockhart deal. So the downtown square in Lockhart is well done. It's not Georgetown is my favorite, their square, but after eating barbecue, there's a nice little coffee shop right there. And if I remember correctly, there's a little spot. You go sit and have a cold beverage and listen to live music.
Yep.
They're good. It's being cultured in Lockhart now. It's too nice of a little area not to be.
Yeah, absolutely.
It really
absolutely
is.
Do it.
TikTok of the week. You and I have seen it. Maybe I did it when you may have saw me do something or a Freudian slip on air back in the media days. But this guy handled it well. He owned it. And it was something any of us could have done. We're all thinking it when you involve dogs.
The dog in Thailand is certainly giving new meaning to the phrase doggy paddle. He was found swimming 135 miles off the shore of Thailand near an oil rig.
Workers first spotted the dog.
I know. There's no way around it. So workers first spotted the dog last Friday swimming towards the platform. The crew was able to get a rope around his neck and pull him up. He's now in good shape and on dry land with an animal protection group. One I'm sure I'll be working with very soon. More news 4 at 11 when we come back.
The problem with that, man, is his anchor did not carry him. She should have just kept reading. She did not carry him. She lost it, man. If she'd have just read it normally, we could have just jailed past it. He had to jump back in. Oh, she could not carry him. It was funny. I wouldn't have done this. I would have done the same thing. Man. I couldn't carry him either, dude. We know what was on his mind, right?
I couldn't wait to get home.
Yeah, man.
Or maybe the day started off really well.
Yeah, exactly.
And he had carryover on the brain.
That's exactly what happened, man.
Hey, man, tell me something good.
Stevie Lee, you mentioned it. It's starting to warm up, but I think we need to tap the brakes because I think we're going to get popped pretty good by a cold spell in about over a week, maybe two. But there's still great things going on in this world, in this city, in this where we are, wherever you may be watching, listening. Tell the fine folks something inspiring good from the perspective of the Stevie Lee.
All right, man, you ready? So we're the 4th day of February right now. When you guys see this, it's going to probably be the 5th day, right?
Yeah.
Of February. February is the month of love, Valentine's Day, and also Black History Month. Celebrate that as well. Although Black history is American history, right? So we need to, I appreciate the month of Black History Month, but also Black history is every single month, So let's just I'll just put that out there. But Valentine's Day is coming up, is right around the corner. It's yours truly's birthday.
Oh,
that is actually my birthday,
Stevie Lee.
So that's something good right there. I traveled another year around the sun.
We're grateful for it.
another trip around the sun. And so that's something good for me, man. I embrace every single birthday because I got friends that didn't make it to 43. You know what I mean? So and I know people that didn't make it to 43, but I'm here and I'm happy. I got my babies, I got my wife, I got my good friend Sean here, man. So yeah, no question, man. So I'm always happy, upbeat around my birthday because I'm celebrating, man. I'm celebrating another trip around the sun, and that's something good for me. So I'm usually trying to give the people something good, but man, I'm gonna be selfish a little bit, man. Something good for me right now is another trip around the sun.
Man, I love that. We're gonna celebrate you all month.
All month, really?
All month.
All right, man. I take bourbons and whiskeys
and cigars.
Yeah, man.
Good cigar for Stevie Lee.
Yeah, man.
If you want to send Stevie Lee, Venmo him money for a cigar and a good cocktail glass of bourbon.
You know what? All I need is a good text. That's all I need. A text.
I love that.
Or hey, man, I'm thinking about you. I love those, bro. I really do. Because I think about my friends all the time.
I do too.
Sometimes it's good to know that you're being thought of as well.
Yeah, it feels good. And right now, what I'm doing, I'm editing your contact in here. I'm going to add your birthday. I don't know why I didn't know it already.
It's all good, man.
Let's see, 2/14,
1981. It was a good year, man.
It's a great year.
Yeah. Sandra Lee had a bouncy baby boy.
Is her name Sandra?
Sandra, yeah.
Man, wasn't there a singer named Sandra Lee or Sandra D?
Sandra Lee, I think, is a baker or like the bread company, or is that Sarah Lee?
So Sarah Lee.
Yeah.
They are third cousins.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I'll tell you
times
something good, man. In addition, that's a great point. The month of love and Black History Month.
Yeah.
Both parallels right there. Love, embrace it, embrace the Black history, embrace our brothers and sisters, and
absolutely
how what we've becoming the nation that we are and where we're headed. Because despite what you see on Twitter, we still have a great opportunity to be the best country in the world. And what I mean by that is right here. Connect our hearts.
Yeah, absolutely.
Be American and support one another in our different backgrounds. It's beautiful. But I'll tell you something good. This is something I wish I could want to say every time, but all men, get your PSA check for prostate health. Do it. Yeah. Do it now. Schedule it now. Don't put it off any longer, because you get it early, you're good. You're golden. Yeah. Check it. I'm on a 3-year journey, and I've had a good team of doctors.
Good.
There's something suspicious, but because I started it early,
you can fight it. Absolutely. That's awesome, man. Well, hats off to you for doing that, and hats off for you for doing that PSA, man, because I think more people, when they see people go out to actually get things done, that motivates them to go and get things done as well. So
absolutely.
So I'll go and set up something with my practitioner to get it all checked out and everything. I haven't had it done yet, but they told me at 45 I needed to get it done. I did ask about it at 40, and they said 45, but I need to push them more to just go ahead and get it done.
Do it, and then do the digital exam too.
Hey, man, why would you bring that up right now, man? Why?
That's part of it.
Why would you? And you put it in the camera too, man. You put your finger in the camera and said, "Get the digital." Coming right at you.
God, I've got a Charlie Strong finger. Remember that?
There you do. I remember that picture, man.
After they beat OU and he had the golden hat on, that finger looked like he was about.
I read a comment that I never forget underneath that picture. It said the longest finger in college football.
Oh my God.
Which it was.
And then the photoshopped one of him on a step stool at the press conference.
I didn't see that one. No, I didn't see that one.
Charlie and I are about the same height. Maybe he's a little taller, but yeah, there. Oh my God! It showed him in the short leg khakis and everything.
That's funny. Y'all got the same haircut too.
Yeah, it's low maintenance. Hey, I hopefully we can get a deal, but Freebirds is the way to go for a bald head. I get a new blade. It has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 blades on it. They oscillate. I get a new one every other month. Put on the contraption, and I do it myself.
Oh, really?
6 blades working together.
Wow, that's awesome. It looks good, man. It looks good on you.
You want to feel it?
A little bit what I got, man.
Well, you look good too with what you have.
I'm getting thin a little bit back there, but I'm okay with it. I got all this. It's still there. The hairline is still there.
You're rocking it. You're rocking it. Hey, for the pride of Shreveport, there's 2 of them, that being the Hargrove family and the Stevie Lee. And for the OG Man Cave boys, that being Hardball Hard's Big Mike and Coach Mo. What do we tell them, Stevie Lee?
We out.
You see the drippy, I'm fitted up. Hop in my car and the giddy up.
I said get out.